Hey, it's Ken from the Information Nation bringing you more stuff. That's right, more stuff. For about a week now, I've been sitting around toking on the Zephyrus. Got it on my Sig Alley 150 watt box mod. Nice vape. Really a nice vape. I'm pretty impressed with this thing. I mean, this isn't the drip tip that comes with it. We'll show you that in a little bit. I'm pretty impressed with this. It has a couple of drawbacks, which we'll talk about. But for the most part, it does a very nice job. Decent flavor. I would say it competes pretty well with my Kanger sub-tank. I get the sub-tank has a little bit more airflow. But then again, this Zephyrus, like I say, I haven't gotten a dry hit off of it yet. It's got a decent airflow to it. This coil that's in here is a 0.3. I'm hitting this at 30 watts at 3.3 volts, and it's a 0.3 ohm coil that came with it, and it does a nice job. Haven't gotten a dry hit off of it yet. Not yet. And for a week's worth of use, I think that's pretty good. So that would mean that on a 4-pack like this, I'd get better than a month, and they're only like $13.95 or something like that. But anyhow, yeah, it's an impressive tank. One of the things that I really, really like about it is the top fill. I for years, or for quite some time, have been a top fill type of guy, and I'm not too concerned with the little butt plug or whatever you want to call it that goes in there. Because if you look at this, you can see the plug right up here with the geez, I can't remember. My mind is going. Although it doesn't help that I've been drinking a little bit of beer. So, or maybe it does. I'm not too sure. But anyhow, why don't we take a close look at this thing, and we'll talk a little bit about more on it, and then we'll come back up, we'll vape on it, and we'll see what you think. So let's go take a look downstairs. Okay, we're downstairs, and like I say, it's got a decent airflow to it. Very nice airflow. Put that over here. This airflow ring comes off. It's held on by an O-ring, and it does a nice job of holding it there. It does. Let's get up here close. There we go. And you can see you can choke it off pretty well, or you can open it wide open, which is normally where I keep it. The comes in a box, nice little box, nice presentation for it. It comes with a deck, with a rebuild deck, which we will do next time around. We're going to rebuild this thing next time around. And the cotton picking deck is tiny. I mean, if I went like this and said, oh, look at, here's the deck. And once it focuses in, you go, wow, that thing is really big. Not really. It's not really all that big when you get down to looking at it. And you put being an old machinist, tool maker, it is less than a half an inch across from here to here. It is tiny. It is a tiny deck, but the difference between this and the billow is you see how I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a little closer here. And let's get it to focus in so we can see it. Come on. There we go. You see how the holes are offset? They're lower on the outer posts and they're higher on the inner posts, which should make it a lot easier to build on. But we're gonna rebuild this one. Coming up in the video, we're going to be doing a review on the Coil Master version 3, which I kind of like. But anyhow, when we do that, we'll also do the build on this. You get an extra glass, you get extra O-rings, you get an extra little juice plug in there. This is the drip tip that comes with it. Let me take this apart. They give you cooling fins, an adapter, and they also give you this drip tip, which is quite short. I mean, it's a stubby little drip tip. And even with this, with the vents on there, with the rings on there, and you can see the cooling fins, it's still a pretty short drip tip. So what I like to do is I like to use my other drip tip on it. I use this one, which also has cooling fins on it, and it's longer. So it works quite well. Drawback. Okay. It does leak a little bit from the bottom. If you look at the top of my Cigale, you can see it right in here. And it is juice. I don't know where it's coming from. I can't find out where it's coming from. But it does leak a little bit. I've noticed this a couple of times when I've changed it over from the Cigale to my e-cig 50s. It does leak a little bit. But it's not enough to be noticeable. I mean, it's not like it's dripping down the sides of the mod or anything. It just happens to get the top of the mod wet. So we take it and we clean it off. And it is kind of a drawback because of the fact that it does leak. I don't know where it's leaking from. That's the whole problem. It's not leaking through the 510. So I have a feeling that it's leaking right through. I think I'm getting some juice in the bottom here, and then it's working its way over to where this airflow ring is at, and then going down on top of the mod. So that is a drawback. Coils. Unfortunately, the kit only comes with one coil. But fortunately, you can buy coils. Or, like I say, I got them for $13.95 for 4 of them. They're these are big coils. These are some big cotton picking coils. You can, let's see. Kind of hard to see through the plastic, but if you look, you can see the airflow through there. And they are 0.3 ohm coils, dual coil. Let's see if you can, there you go. You know, this thing is beginning to really irritate me. I'm getting tired of this. There we go. Have to go all the time, got to go to manual focus on this. But they are dual coils. The air hole comes right up through the center. And like I say, they last quite a while. Let's see if we can, there you can see the airflow on the bottom. There's your contact right down here. And you can see the amount of, it's massive airflow through this thing. But then again, you're limited by your airflow by the biggest orifice that you have, or opening, which happens to be what goes in between these two coils. But it is a 0.3 ohm build, and it does vape very nice. Got some very nice flavors. I do like I say, I am a fan of top fill, big time. And it's not that hard to do. You take the ring off, you pull the little plug out, and there are your holes to fill right from the top. And it will take a dripper, jeez. I use a syringe, and they're not that hard to get back in. Once you get it filled up, you just line it up, push it back in, and then screw the top back on. like I say, I find it very easy to refill the tank. My biggest problem with this, I wish this tank was bigger. I wish it held a more amount. They say it holds, I think, somebody said 5 mil. Somebody said it holds 4 mil. I find it holds between 3.5 and 4 mil. And I go through 3.5 to 4 mil relatively fast. I'm filling this thing about twice a day. And but other than that, I find it it's machined very nice, all stainless steel and glass. There's really nothing more I can say about the Zephyrus. I like it. As a lot of you know, I'm a big Kangertech fan. I like my Kangertech Subtank Plus, and the only difference is I would never have gotten the Zephyrus if the Kangertech had top fill, and that's how big of a fan I am on a top fill. I love top fill because I don't have to take it off the Addy. If I was running a nickel coil build in the deck, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I could just open it up and go ahead and fill it. The deck, like I say, we're going to do a build on that probably in the next video when we also at the same time we review the Coil Master. The deck has the build deck has some really good juice channels in it. They're pretty darn good. It's got some great airflow in it. So we'll see how well this works out. But let's go back up and vape on this a little bit. That's good. That is good. Like I say, I'm enjoying it. I've been vaping on it since I got it. I had it about a week. And like I say, I haven't got a dry hit on it. It feeds the coils quite well. The airflow is adequate. It's a little bit tighter than the Kangertank, but not by much. They're pretty similar. Slightly tighter draw on the Zephyrus. But what it makes up for in loss of airflow, or what it loses in loss of airflow, to me, it makes up in the top fill. I really do like top fill. So anyhow, this has been Ken for the Information Nation, bringing you more stuff. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you would. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, and remember, in the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Have a good day.